participacy. So we are also skipping that poem here and directly start the poem number 5, A Legend of the Northland. So today in this video you will see the summary of about the poet and reading of this poem. So today I am going to start this summary of this poem. Poem number 5 from your beehive textbook, A Legend of the Northland. This poem written by Carey. So first of all, we'll see about the poet of this poem. See, Carey was born on 4th September 1824 and died on 31st July 1871. So this is the born 4th September 1824 and she died on 31st July 1871. She was an American poetess and she younger sister of poetess Alice Carey, who was born on 1820 and died on 1871. So the sisters first published the poem in 1849 and then each went on to the published volume of their poem. After their deaths in 1871, joined anthologies of the sisters. This is the collection of these both sisters, which unpublished poems were also compiled. So, Carey and her sister, they both worked together. They have made their books together, and their publication, title of their publication is Anthologies of the Sisters. So here, this poem also written by Carey. Now we'll see the introduction of this poem. Here, A Legend of the Northland. This is a ballad. Ballad is one of the form of poem. A ballad is a poem narrating a story in short stanzas. Ballad is such kind of poem which tells a story in short stanzas, and in the poem all the stanzas comprises 4 lines. In total there are 16 stanzas in this poem. In this poem also, A Legend of the Northland, this poem also is one of the ballad. Ballad is the form of poem. It's one kind of poem. And how we can identify is that this is ballad. In this poem, total 16 stanzas will be there. Every stanza made up of 4 lines. So here 16 stanza is there. In every stanza 4 lines are there, and that is called the ballad. Second thing is, in the ballad, we'll see the story is there. It's a story which is related to human beings. So, and ballad story always written in ancient time, it means past time. So here, a legend means what? If this word refer to the ancient time. So, this poem also known as ballad, which also made up of 16 stanza. In every stanza we will see the 4 lines are there, and ballads are the part of a folk culture. I said as that this ballad is a form of ancient time, and this is the part of the folk culture or popular culture, then are passed on orally from one generation to the another. Folk culture is the story of any area is known as a ballad. Folk culture comprises of traditional stories which are passed on from one generation to the next generation. Now, This exact place is not specified, but Northland means the area in the northmost part of the earth, that is near the North Pole. Legend means a historical story, one which is very old and has been passed on from generation to another generation. So this is a story, we can say, which is told by the one generation to the another generation, and it happened in the past, in ancient time, in a folk culture. Now let's see the summary of this poem. Here, a legend of the Northland. This poem, as we know, that written by Carey. Here, in this poem is about the one of the religious person, Saint Peter. Now, what happened when this religious person, Saint Peter, preaching, and he was just visiting all over the world. One day, he just reached at the cottage of woman, right? And that woman was making cake in her hut. So, after getting starvation and he was very hungry, that's why he knocked the door of that woman's house. And then after what happened, that woman opened the door and Saint Peter asked to the lady who was living in that house to fill his stomach. But afterward, that lady was very greedy, and that's why she just refused his offer and said, after time I will give. But again, religious person, Saint Peter, was again just knocking her door. Again she opened the door. But what happened here? She was again working in the kitchen on the hut, and that time Saint Peter has seen that she was baking the cake. He asked scrap about small piece of that cake, and she was very greedy. So she said that I will make another one for you because this one is very big. Second time also she refused. Third time again Saint Peter asked to that small piece of the cake. But third time again she said, this is very large, I will make another one. So fourth time also he asked, fifth again. Then after this woman angered Saint Peter. So Saint Peter cursed her and said, you are not fit to live in a human form. So I will transfer you in a bird. So he transferred her, that lady, in a woodpecker. Woodpecker is one kind of bird. Then after what happened here, that lady woodpecker always tried to get the food. So because of that woodpecker had to work hard to get the food. She started in a bird form to get how to get the food. She made it her life very, we can say, hard work. She started to do hard work by getting the food. So here she realized that if I have to live that, if I should live that greediness from my lives, that my life will not be transferred in a bird. So here this story about the selfishness of that woman who transferred in a bird by Saint Peter. So this is we can say small story written in a ballad form of the poem. So now we'll start how to read this poem. This is the first stanza. 16th stanza given in this poem. We'll see. Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. Second, where their harshness, the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look it like bad stuffs in their funny clothes. Third stanza. They tell the curious story. What are they here? Old ancient people. as he did you know. Next, he came to the door of a cottage in traveling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. And being faint with fasting, 40 days was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it, and through it seemed too large to give away. In the next stanza, therefore she needed another, and still a smaller one, but it looked when she turned it over as large as the first had done. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as wafer, but she could not part with that. Next, for she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. Next, then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. Next stanza, and he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. Now you shall live as the bird do, and shall get your scanty food by boarding all day in the hard dry wood. So here next we'll see, then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed a bird. She transferred into bird. Next, she had a scarlet cake on her head, and that was she left the same. But all the rest of her clothes were burned, black as a coal in the flame. Next,